Hello, my sweet tastes, and I'm happy to see you again today. You might notice that today this whole setup is a good bit different from the usual, with the background and everything. And I'm about to tell you guys the reason. So right now I'm actually not at home. Technically I am at work right now. But let me explain. So I work in a hotel, which is why I am in a hotel right now. And where I live, there was an ice storm warning. And because of that, my employer gave me and a lot of other employees the option to sleep here in the hotel, so we don't have to get ourselves in danger driving on frozen roads in the morning. Now, I will say this hotel is located inside an airport, which means that there might be some plane sounds in the background, which I apologize for, but it's really not that loud. I am not in any of the fancy rooms. I am in what we call a conference suite. So I have like a bed that's basically like, we call it a Murphy style, so it like comes out of the wall. So it's not super fancy, but it saves me the effort to get into work in the morning. And of course, it's free of charge. So I get to sleep at work. In the morning, I will get up and just waltz right down the elevator and be at work. It's gonna be an interesting experience for sure. But enough of that. I've been a little lot busy over the last week. And because of that, I failed to make a proper video for this week. I'm recording this Wednesday night. Technically, it's almost Thursday because my shift ended at 11:30 p.m. So this is a lot last minute. And it wasn't really my intention, but I figured better something like this than nothing. And I just had a lot going on. Work was busy, some private stuff, and just having to do chores and take care of household, all of that fun stuff. The fun stuff of adulting. But anyways, I figured today, I could just tell you guys a little bit about myself, since I never really did that before a lot. I know in some of my videos I let like some elements of my own life flow into the roleplay and include it, but I figured I will use today to actually sort of introduce myself. So first of all, of course, you probably know my name is Thea, which is short for Anthea, but you can call me either, whatever you prefer. And then let's stick to the basics. My birthday is the 24th of March, and I am currently 22 years old. My star sign is Aries, but to be honest, I personally don't really interpret a lot into star signs. But you know, if you were curious, now you know. My favorite colors are blue and green. I specifically like darker colors, darker green and dark blue. But I also like lighter versions. I like most forms of green and blue. I also like purple, and over time, I grew to kind of enjoy pink more. I used to hate pink because I didn't want to fit the stereotype of girls like pink, boys like blue. But I now can enjoy pink too. I have a favorite animal, but that might not be too hard to guess for you guys. My favorite animals are dogs, and I have a soft spot for dachshunds. I can't even really explain why. I just love them. They're so sweet, and their personality is just, it's great. But let's talk a bit more about ASMR related things for a little bit. I started listening to ASMR when I was still in high school. Back then, and pretty much even before that, I had so many issues with sleep. I wouldn't fall asleep, and when I fell asleep, I wouldn't stay asleep. Usually, I would run on 5 hours, 6 hours on a good day of sleep during school and all of that. So it wasn't exactly great. I thought ASMR was kind of weird at first, and a lot of people talked about it like it's something strange and inappropriate, so I was a bit hesitant, but it was like, you know what, I can't sleep. This is supposed to help, so, let's check it out. And I watched some ASMR videos. I honestly don't remember, which the first video was that I watched, but I think back then, GB ASMR is the first one that I really found and started listening to. And from there, I just kind of got more suggestions on my feed and started exploring more and finding that it really, really helped me to just calm my mind, stop my thoughts from racing, and fall asleep. So I listen to ASMR videos every night when I get to sleep. And every once in a while I have this thought of, wouldn't it be fun to do that too? And now I think I could do something like that. But I was always worried what people might think about me if I do it, because ASMR still had that stigma of being strange and inappropriate and all of that. And I also didn't really tell anyone that I was watching ASMR because I was embarrassed. But over the time, it became more socially acceptable to like ASMR. So eventually, it's now 2 years ago, I think, pretty much. I was brave enough and I started. And now we're here. I'm definitely glad that I did try it, and I'm kind of proud of myself for it too. But let's talk a bit more. I think I'm gonna try to list some of my favorite ASMR creators that I listen to. Now, this is not any particular order. This is just as they come to my mind. I really love cinematic ASMR roleplay scenarios that are really immersive, and I especially like them if they're fantasy based. So here are some creators that I really enjoy. I love Atmosphere. Her videos are amazing. The quality is mind-blowing. It's like watching an actual movie, and I love it. And it's so relaxing too. That's the worst part. It's so beautiful, and you don't want to fall asleep, but it makes you fall asleep. So usually I have to watch her videos several times so I don't miss anything and don't fall asleep. I really loved Goodnight Moon, and I found her for her, I think it was called Babblebrook series, which was like a medieval adventure village series. I think she paused that one indefinitely, I'm not quite sure, but her other videos are also really good. There's also, I think she's called Moonlit Cottage ASMR. She's French, and her background and props are out of this world. It's crazy, and you can really see how much passion she puts in it. She's also an inspiration for me. Like, I don't think I will ever have the financial way of acquiring amazing props like she has and uses, but you know, the girl can dream. Love watching her videos. I also really like Ocean's ASMR. Hers are more modern scenarios, but I don't know, I really like her voice. It's really calling to me. I do still sometimes listen to GB, but not as much at the moment. And if I do, it's usually more of the older videos. I really loved her Daisy role plays. Daisy's like her own character she created. I mean, most of you guys probably already know who GB is. She's one of the most popular ASMR artists, I think. But yeah, that's another one I watched. Then from Germany, Dreamplay ASMR. She was also a huge inspiration for me and motivation to try myself. She actually stopped making videos for, I think it was 2 years now, but I think last week or the week before, she uploaded a video, so she might be coming back, and I'm really excited about that because her videos are really nice and everything has like a really cute, cozy aesthetic. I like it a lot. So I'm looking forward to maybe seeing more videos of her again. And there's so many. I discovered a newer channel lately. I think it was called Violet Hour ASMR. If I'm wrong, I'm going to correct this in the editing because I can't look at it right now. But her videos are also very soothing. I love the scenarios in her role plays. And I think she's pretty new. At least there aren't that many videos on her channel yet. But she definitely deserves all the attention she's getting on her videos because they're so good. I really enjoy them. Here is a little list of all the ASMR channels that I am subscribed to. I really, really enjoy all of them. They have beautiful, creative concepts and are so relaxing. Now, these are some of the creators I like to listen to. Maybe some of them speak to you as well. So let's go back to a couple facts about me. Some of them might be a bit silly. Some of them might actually be interesting, but we'll see. So here's something about me. I don't actually have brown hair. This is all dyed. If you can see, my roots are growing out. I have, like, in Germany we call it stray dog blonde. Like really dark, dirty blonde. Not like a nice platinum or anything like that. It's just very dirty blonde. And I just didn't really like it because it's like, it's not really dark, it's not really light. I just didn't like it on me. And I used to dye my hair blue a lot, but I can't. With the working in customer service, people don't really want you to do that. So I stopped, and I am switching to brown ever since. And I like it. I like myself with brown hair. I think darker colors suit me. Please don't tell me I'm wrong. I'm gonna choose to believe that darker colors suit me. As I mentioned before, I work in a hotel. I am a front desk agent, or I guess maybe you can also call it receptionist, or kind of concierge. It's kind of like flowing together there a little bit at the hotel I work at. And I do this in the US. This is something that I mentioned before in other videos, but I am German. I was born in Germany, I was raised in Germany, I lived in Germany for 22 years of my life. And I just moved to the US this year in July. So I haven't had this job for very long, but I do like it. I enjoy it a lot. It's quite fun. And I'm curious where it's going to take me. But yes, I'm German. Ich bin Deutsch. You might have noticed in some of my videos I use German for little like sounds in the back, or like little whispers. If I want to like make something feel strange and stuff, and I'm like, foreign languages may sound like that, so I speak German to give the effect of something odd and foreign. I don't know if it always works, but that's what I'm trying to go for. And if you ever want me to try a video where I speak only German, feel free to let me know and comment about that, and I'll see what I can do. Before I came to the US, I had some different jobs. This is my first hotel job. My very first, like, proper full-time employment job was, in Germany we call it Tierpfleger, and it basically translates to an animal caretaker. Oh, there goes a plane. I just saw it take off on my window. You probably hear it a bit. Oh well. So what I did was I worked full-time in a shelter as part of an apprenticeship. In apprenticeships, you basically work full-time while you also go to school, specifically learning subjects about the job you're learning. I did that, graduated from it. Well, during the time I worked at an animal shelter, I really loved that job. It was so much, it gave my life so much meaning, It gave me like a sense of purpose. There were a lot of sad moments because you saw a lot of sad things. You saw a lot of cruelty, unfortunately, from others. But you also, like, every time I was able to raise a kitten and then adopt it out, it made me feel so happy and also proud, and just, it felt so good, But it was just hard to really make any money with that. And after my apprenticeship was over, I wasn't able to stay there because financial reasons from the shelter I worked at. So I did a new job. I ended up being, again, a caretaker, this time specifically for dogs, at a doggy daycare. So a daycare where people bring their dogs and then they go to work and you take care of their dogs. And it was a fun job, but the dog daycare I was at, like, they exclusively had an outside area, so the dogs were outside all day, which isn't bad. Like, during winter they had coats and everything, the dogs had fun. There were little huts with like warm lights to warm up and stuff, and there was really fun play areas for the dogs, and it wasn't bad, but it definitely lacked that sense of purpose that I had from the shelter. It paid better, but I still missed working at the shelter. And then after, I believe it was 7 or 8 months of that job, they let me go. It was, again, not because I wasn't good at my job or anything like that, but because of financial reasons, financial troubles. And then I was jobless for 3 months, trying to find a new direction, because I realized that I would never really able to make a living off doing what I had studied, and I don't regret learning it, and I don't regret doing those jobs. They mean a lot to me. But I ended up becoming a train attendant. Train attendants are like flight attendants, but on long-distance trains in Germany. So I did that for about a year and a half, and then I moved here and decided to stick with customer service, since train attendants are like a mix of customer service and some other stuff, but you get the picture. So now I work in a hotel. Funnily enough, back when I started my The Accent Hotel series, I had no idea that I would be working in a hotel, so I guess it was kind of foreshadowing. Let me tell you a bit more about other things I like. I like Sailor Moon. You can see my shirt, and I also have matching pants. My favorite Sailor Scout is Sailor Jupiter. I just always loved how strong she was, and olive green. And I just really liked her. That's also why I cosplayed her a lot. Which is another thing about me that you probably already know, but I'm a cosplayer. I've been a cosplayer for, I think it must be 10 years now, actually. Yeah. Been a cosplayer for about 10 years. Still loving it. Still hating it sometimes. It's eating a lot of my time and funds, but it also brings me a lot of joy. And it makes me feel beautiful. And I think that is worth it. I love tea. Like, I really like tea. I do not drink coffee, though. I really don't like coffee. I also don't drink alcohol. I just never got the appeal of it, and I just don't really like how people tend to behave when they're drunk, so I don't want that for myself, and that is why I have actually never had a drop of alcohol. Like, obviously I know there's like some alcohol in like medicine or in some foods, but you know, I never like drank alcohol, which a lot of people think is very weird given that I'm German, but oh well. I am obsessed with like epic the musical, and in general I really like Greek mythology. I also think that Norse mythology is very interesting, but I don't know as much about it. But I've always really had a fascination for like the Greek gods and all of that stuff, so a little bit of a nerd in that regard. Other things I really like are Madoka Magica. My favorite character is Mommy. Don't worry. Cosplayed her too. I also really like Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon are Duxbun, and Absol. My favorite Mega Evolution is Mega Absol. and Megalopony. I just think it's very cute. And I know some people are weird about it, but I just think it looks cute. My favorite legendary Pokemon are Xerneas and Satian. I just really like dogs. Fun fact. After I finished Pokemon Scarlet, I shiny hunted all dog Pokemon that were in the game, transferred it to a new game file. So I finished the game a second time using only shiny dog Pokemon. I know it might be silly, but don't judge me, please. I also really like Fire Emblem, but I don't really like the latest one. Fire Emblem Engage, it never grew on me. I don't know. But I like the Fire Emblem franchise aside from that. And I cosplayed a lot from it. So that is something else I really like. I love to travel. I've been in Spain, in Italy, in Scotland, in England. Technically, I've also been in France, but I didn't really waste that much time there. France just never really spoke to me in any way, to be honest. I was in the Netherlands. And, of course, I've also been in Austria and Switzerland, but I don't really count them because they're kind of like Germany 2.0 to me. Especially since I'm from Bavaria, and Bavaria is kind of like, it's kind of the same thing, I'm not gonna lie. There's differences, of course, but a lot of similarities too. And of course, the US. In the US, I've been to Nevada and Las Vegas. I've been in California, but I honestly don't really remember the city I was in. I've been, let me think. Technically, I've been in Fort Lauderdale, but I was only in the airport. I never left the airport, so I won't count that. Texas and Dallas, of course. And I visited friends in Nashville once. So that is basically it. I've been to like a few states, but I haven't seen that much yet. Definitely on my bucket list to see some more, and do some more, and yeah, but I have time. I'm in no rush for that. I just really like cute things, and I also really like tragic things though. Like for books, I really like it when they're very tragic, very sad, and I don't always need a happy end either. Sometimes I really enjoy an ending where, like, not everything is great and the guy doesn't come back from the dead after saving the world and stuff like that. I actually don't really like Harry Potter or The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings, but then again, wasn't Hobbit and Lord of the Rings the same anyways? I'm not sure. I don't know. I never really got into those franchises. No shame to those who like it. It just never really spoke to me much. But I think I would really like Game of Thrones if I were to watch it. But I just don't really have the time, and I don't really want to pay for that subscription service. So I do really like Star Wars, but to me, Clone Wars is the best Star Wars. Sorry, you can cancel me if you want to, but that's my opinion. My girl Ahsoka rocks. I will not accept Ahsoka slander. But yeah, that are some things about me, some things that I like. Just a little bit about who I am, what I do. I hope I was able to relax you, help you fall asleep, and maybe you find this knowledge you acquired interesting or entertaining in a way. Either way, I am looking forward to seeing you soon with another proper roleplay, of course. Thank you, my sweeties. I appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you again very, very soon. Good night.